split the best of ones, 1-1. But one thing that surprised me in that second best of one of that night was the fact that Ben Leet dropped 27 kills, most kills on the server in their overtime victory. On Ancient, that map doesn't come here, but it's been a long time since you've seen Ben at the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point that you bring up, Boggs, because I think Bentley is such a proponent of this PA brand and this style that has stayed alive for so long, has attended so many international tournaments, and you really want this guy to succeed. He's a lovely guy to listen to when you watch him in his interviews. Very humble guy as well, but you can tell that in his time in the sun is quickly dwindling to a close, and if he can't get this roster to a competitive side, it's going to get a little bit worrying for me personally. And so I'm hoping for the best from him. And he'll get to start on the defense. He'll get to start to defend against this getting info T side as they go charging up the catwalk.
That's a great entry from Shane to Ixani, already removed. 2 players remaining on the B site. Darty up on the boost box with the dual Beretta, spotted at range. That's a good clear for anybody lurking around, but Ben still holding strong, but not for long. Falls to Fang, OG Wizard, 1 from Market. He is checked out as well. Sacrifice not ready for the flank. Takes the dink and will be put to bed sooner rather than later. It's a quad kill for Fang, and getting info, don't really need much of it. They just get all the kills instead.
well, there you go. Right out the gates, Fang takes Party Astronauts' heads ripped clean off through the cat. Nice and simple. You smoke con, you smoke window. You have that open B line into that B bomb site. They even had a player boost it up onto the site box, and they read that like a book when you see the pathing was just elite, where they have a smoke down a market window and they scale around the back of the site instead of going through the default plant spot instead. It's unorthodox for sure, and it catches Party Astronauts completely off guard. Every crossfire that they wanted to set up completely disassembled. PA do go for the force buy here in this second round, and instantaneously nade combo with Marky's SMG kill gives an opening 5v4 to Getting Info.
Getting Info having a lot of little tricks early on. The pathing again was absolutely pristine, and then the little nade combo over to Sniper's Nest. That's an easy kill for Darty for Carson onto Darty, excuse me, as the bomb's going to get planted nice and open. They've got eyes on Cat with the AK from Fang, so no real danger there. Xandy does at least chime in with 1, taking down that AK. There's still a lot left for Party Astronauts to get back into this round if they even want to try it, which, why would you? At this point, you have 3 sets of armor, you have 3 upgrades, a Scout, an MP9, and the 5.7. You can take those into the next round, try again in round number 3, instead of going for a hopeless cause and losing everything that you have coming into this round. And I don't think Sandy's going to be able to get out of here. They are hunting him. They know his general vicinity, and he cannot fight his way through. Good flashing from Carson to enable Marky to take that duel cleanly. And you can see the importance that Getting Info plays on taking those extra guns out of the hands of the Party Astronauts.
Yeah, extra guns, extra money built up for Marky, and you take away an extra MP9 away from Ixani, and straight away, tack timeout being called here by Getting Info. A little odd,
I think
considering the circumstances.
Because they lost Fang after he died in Con.
Yeah, that's definitely likely. That makes a lot more sense. But yeah, overall, I mean, you can already see the win condition of what makes Getting Info as exciting as they are. They're not the most flamboyant in terms of the calling department. They're a very brawly team. They're very in your face. You think about the word pug mix, and they come across, this 5-man lineup usually comes across your screen. And to me, they found a way to basically compartmentalize that concept and put it into an official competitive form. And it looks very deadly when these players can get rolling. Obviously, when you compare them to stiffer competition like your M80s, like your wildcards, where you've got elite callers in the forms of players like Sin and Stanislaw, it's a little bit more harder to kind of break through that echelon. But when you've got rosters that you're playing up against like PA, where the calling styles are pretty similar, you've got a pretty even map pool as well, you can really flex your muscles if you're players like Marky and Dia, and for that matter Fang in this situation as well, that things get to be a lot more difficult for you if you're Party Astronauts. That, I mean, there's very few rosters that can really go toe-to-toe with that level of firepower.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the only two rosters I can think of off the top of my head in ECL that pound for pound equivalent with firepower. Actually, three. Legacy, obviously, with their recent exploits over in Europe. NRG and Blue Jays. Those are the three teams I could think of that are pound for pound equal with getting info. Now, do you have a bit of an edge calling-wise with, say, an NRG and with a Legacy? Probably. I don't necessarily know if there's a significant edge when you're looking at Blue Jays, although their recent success may give a little bit more of insight into that. But that Blue Jays move, again, to harken back to what we talked about in the pre-show, too, absolutely blindsiding the fact that they get rid of Wolf and bring in Dare, which the reuniting of Snav and Dare is going to be interesting to see how that works out, as it's the Pistols here for the Party Astronauts. And getting info, playing for picks here. No spot for Carson yet, and no death for Carson. I'm surprised he doesn't get caught there. That's a missed opportunity for Xani.
Yeah, very curious. And you even got a player in the Palace as well, but Dia snuffs him out. And OG Wizard, I mean, he's been holding on to this Scout for quite some time, has not been able to get it activated as much as he would like. At this point, playing for exit, see if he can scoop up a gun. Spot's a little bit of a head, and they're just going to hunt him down now. Tag is good, but the extra connection not available for the Ukrainian sniper. And getting info, get that clean 3-0 start. They get 5 men alive in, what, 2 of those 3 rounds? Yep. That's beautiful stuff for them. The bank balance swimming with cash at this point. And for PA, it's OG Wizard's turn, and the rest of the defense to kind of chime in with some guns. And you know, OG Wizard's a guy that I've been looking at for quite some time, and he had some great work done on lag, but has yet to really find that same level of potency on this roster specifically. And I hope that we can see that level of dominance from him, because I think this kid's really gifted when he gets to play his own spot.
Yeah,
with his fast B play though.
He's great. And around the sight pillar, takes a lot of ammo to spray down Markey, does go down. OG Wizard finds Fang in the meantime. Coming in through, sacrifice. It's a good little double up with Xanu, takes a lot of damage in that engagement. No bomb plant, it's down in apartments. So it's going to be tough for getting info to get back into this round. OG Wizard back on the catwalk, trying to back away and just keep an eye on things as Shane has to gain a lot of space for his team. 3 players market, 1 player cat. Bomb going down thanks to the smoke and window. But 3 out of the same choke point for Party Astronauts here. And Shane flips around right timing, has a second on a plate, makes it 3! All down to OG Wizard as Shane has a lineup for 3 1v1s, and he does not miss at all. What an individual effort from Shane up close and personal. And now OG Wizard's essentially walled out of this round with that flashbang, and he's going to have to retreat. And getting info, a 4-0 start.
A little rocky there on the entrance. I mean, it's a chokehold that's a hard one to clear, but one by one they go flushing out of the market door and get completely rinsed by Shane. And now OG Wizards, potentially in danger of losing that AWP. Unfortunately, Shane does pick the wrong choice to end up in that round, but getting info, that's a 2v4 that should never be lost if you're PA. And yet again, I mean, we haven't even mentioned Shane in this conversation, and in a lot of cases is considered an afterthought on this team. Honestly, just a person that was brought in because of the remnants of having to play in ECL over and over without vanity, and now is playing within this roster and is doing a very formidable job. OG Wizard on this saved AWP though, trying to find a little bit more impact, finds 1 kill to start things off, tries to rotate in a con, but Fang is dropping bodies and PA is running out of time.
Yeah, that one from OG Wizard is good, but they can't get the gun, and they need a lot more than just one. Dia will miss the drop nade, but he'll hit the headshot onto the op. And that's going to start the downward spiral for Party Astronauts. Already missing an engine. That plane's going to fall from the sky soon enough. As at least 1 for Darty is gained. getting back into this is going to be all but impossible as the utility rains in on him. Marky's focused on him. Actually, wait, bomb. He has the bomb, but he peeks out. And that's the end of Darty. Nice.
Truly unfortunate. Yeah. This is still doable. A gun recoverable right there. Yeah, there's the AK being picked up. Benlead on a Fang. That's a matchup you'd like to see, and Benlead comes out on top, and Benlead finds the 1v2. Who says the IGL can't frag?
Actually, I think that was a 1v3, because he got the catwalk first.
You're right.
And then he took the other two. Benlead, last alive, B rotator, comes in, 3 1v1s, wins it against Fang and Khan, and then the headshot to clean it up at the end. Man, Ben's rolling back the years in these last couple of ECL matches. It's great to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I really do want to see more out of him. He's providing. Sometimes a captain has got to find those impact frags. I'm not talking crazy ratings. I don't think you necessarily need to do that, but big clutch moments like that can really hype up your team, produce just a completely different level of motivation in this kind of a situation. And he provides it in spades. Instant mid control trying to be crunched on in here from the PA side, but Fang has got 2 kills on a plate, make it a triple. Beautiful little spam there on a sacrifice, and he wants to keep going. He's going to boost himself into window and really put a ruckus on the rotation. Potential to move over to that B bomb site and kill that last anchor. But OG Wizards moved over to the catwalk, so even if market control is taken, there isn't potency. And now Darty's making the rotation over. It's a little bit of a timing, and Darty should be aware of this possibility, but it doesn't matter. Fang will still find it, and he's on for the ace, but Marky will close it out regardless, getting info back to winning ways. And it's all off the back of the Canadian hero.
Yeah, Fang goes nuclear out in mid, takes the 2 on Cat, has the spam onto sacrifice, cuts off the rotation of Darty, which was the lifeline for OG Wizard and company in that round. And the 1 victory for Party Astronauts is isolated away from anything else. The CT economy decimated as a result. I mean, OG Wizard and Ben have money here, but the thing is, nobody else does. You can go for a decently heavy half buy here, stay over 2K. It's probably going to be the call here from Party Astronauts somewhere around the half. Yeah, sacrifice 1350 left right now. Off the back of the timeout, Darty going to 2100. A little bit of utility takes him under. But it's not going to be a strong buy from the CT side. And now Dia's got an op too. That's a free op. They don't need to buy.
Yeah, you don't want that guy to have that gun in his hands. And let me tell you, 1.33 rating over the past 3 months. And that alone should send shivers down your spine if you're PA. And he's kind of been forced in a lot of ways to become a hard carry of sorts for this Getting Info team prior to the addition of Fang, where you didn't have that successful output from Marky as much as he'd been hoping for. Shane was still getting integrated into the team. And now, more than ever, it does feel like he's embraced that role of sorts and now has a real opportunity to carry that mantle moving through the end of this ECL season, moving forward to that ever-approaching MRQ now in just, 7 days? It's actually exactly in a week's time now. So really getting down to brass tacks, and you'd love for a guy of his stature to be in the form that he's in right now. And hopefully he can show a little bit of that magic in this series.
Yeah, we're only a little over 2 months from the major itself, too. So we're really getting down to the end of the season here. And everything matters that much more. The team's trying to get their final reps in before the MRQ. And we get 3 spots out of North America, too. So there's a good opportunity for some of those teams in there. Now, with complexity in the MRQ, that makes things a little bit harder. But still, if you write that spot off, there's still 2 spots for about 7 teams. So plenty of opportunity. Good flashbangs from the CT side, but it does not stop Shane from spamming down Darty. Caught him darting back into the hiding, the cover of the smoke. As the bomb goes down on the A side. Ben does a lot of damage, but he can't quite get the kill. Mopped up by Marky. Another smoke kill coming through from Getting Info. As That's a nice shot from Feng onto OG Wizard. He's had a heater of a game so far, 11-3. He's barely dying. All of his kills have been headshots just about. And he's just taking space and taking names. But he doesn't clear the corner, and that is unfortunate. What's more unfortunate was that I thought the gun was gone for a second there.
Yeah, I was going to say that would have been crazy if that happened, but I mean, you can see how personal Fang's taking it right now. I mean, just trying to be as aggressive as possible. It reminds me so much of when I watched him in that Complexity jersey where he's just unbridled and just wide-eyed, looking for fights and winning every single one of those duels. And it feels like I haven't seen that from him in such a long time. When he was in this PA roster with Sixy, it just felt like there were so many role clashes. Things were very lethargic. He had slowed down the pace of his game. Even after Sixy departed, it didn't feel like he had that twinkle in his eye. But, you know, sometimes when you have tough roster situations like this, you take it upon yourself to take matters into your own hands and prove as to why you made the decision. And right now, he's coming out the better of it. 6-1 start for Getting Info. Fang 150 ADR. It's everything that you could ask for in terms of a reunion. And perhaps he's won the breakup. Only time will tell.
Yeah, that very messy, very public breakup.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one that can sour a friend group. Let's see what Party Astronauts can do to respond here. Only one on the CT side so far, and they definitely need more than that. One thing to note, though, Party Astronauts' 12-3 record on Mirage is a bit of a misnomer, as most of their wins came against bottom-tier ECL teams on it in like the top level of Advanced. There has not been many victories, if any, against solid top 5, top 7 teams in the region. So, a little bit of a paper tiger, perhaps, that record for Party Astronauts, and I think that's getting exposed here against Getting Info. How is Carson allowed to get in here? He's being watched for, he is forced away, but that's a 50-50 duel that you have to rely on to basically keep this round alive if you're Party Astronauts, and a bit lucky to be able to escape.
Look at the time.
Oh, wow.
There's 25 seconds left. Marquis found a pick on B, but, I mean, the bomb is rotating back to this A-bomb site. What's going on? 20 seconds. We've got to get a move on. Everybody trying to crunch in. They're trying to have that jungle-facing player to find a kill. OG Wizard finds a kill through the underpass. They know Marky's still available. Yes, he gets a kill, but there's still a site anchor to deal with. OG Wizard's found his man. There is no time for the bomb plant. Dia can get some consolatory frags, but at the end of the day, PA get themselves basically gifted around. As soon as Carson gets spotted, everything comes screeching to a halt, and PA just keep it cool.
Yeah, no flinching in the game of chicken from Party Astronauts. They weather the storm nicely. They capitalize on that spot and that dink, and just swallow up Getting Info as they make that mad scramble back to the A site despite getting that pick on B. Money's still fine for Getting Info. A bomb plant would give them a stronger buy in the next round if they lose it, but that's still 5 kills away. Bang.
Look at this, man.
Yeah. This bottom mid control that Getting Info have been able to achieve consistently is kind of insane. That spot onto OG Wizard is incredible. I was wondering if that crouch angle would give Fang that info, and sure enough it did. And they're watching for it, kind of, and walking back with a knife? Oh my gosh.
I mean, third round in a row that a player on Getting Info has been able to get into window, and again, a cause for concern with another entry going in their favor. They're going to try to go through the connector, and OG Wizard completely unprepared. It just feels like this A defense is completely discombobulated, unaware of the potential holes in this setup. Luckily for them, though, you've got an elite defender in Darty standing and delivering. That does come to a halt, though. Carson finds one, Dia goes aggressing in CT, and that means it's Ben lead up into another difficult clutch, another 1v3, this time with an A main flank. But his counterpart in Carson has read this. He's got the off angle to boot, and he'll win it out. So 7-2. We go tit for tat. As soon as PA win around, there's always that bounce back in response from Getting Info, and PA just can't get anything strung along. And that's really causing just a dramatic scoreline to unfold. It doesn't feel like Party Astronauts can get any sort of rhythm in this game. What, you've got one clutch from Ben Lee in total, and then you've got a gimme round that's been given to you by Getting Info because of a breakdown in communication and time limit, right? So overall, I've just not seen enough from PA to really say that they've got enough in the tank to go toe-to-toe.
And I don't even necessarily think it's the firepower angle we were talking about before. Sure, some of it is. Fang's had a whale of a game so far. But a lot of it is just the A defense from Party Astronauts is getting exploited consistently. This bottom mid is also being exploited. OG Wizard goes down on the half buy. That's not a good start for Party Astronauts. The flashbang. How are they not expecting Fang here? They know he's in lower.
Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. And unfortunately, Bentley does get 2 at the very least, and it leaves Darty in a 1v3. Carson's still at top mid, though, and if Darty gets frisky and tries to go through the smoke, he's a dead man walking. But Carson's recovered the bomb, and ooh, I think he just spotted the shoulder. I think he did. And now he'll move back over to that B bomb site. Darty will just be chasing smoke and mirrors. Potentially an upgrade available, you'd like to think. Yeah, there it is. But he'll get taken out very quickly. Carson was still lurking around top middle with that AWP. And he gets the half win confirmed for Getting Info. This one just feels like an absolute beatdown.
Yeah, this one's getting worse and worse for Party Astronauts. They're just getting bullied consistently by Getting Info. Middle, which can be the death of a lot of teams' takes, has been just the start of the engine for Getting Info. They're getting a pick consistently out of it, and if they're not getting the pick, they're getting into jungle and sniper's nest uncontested. So either way, they're splitting the map in half. They're getting a pick, or they're putting themselves in a great position to get a pick. And OG Wizard does get flashed out. Has help from Sacrifice on the one, but there is an instant trade right back there, and the trades favor the T side, gives more space to Getting Info, who are probing into this A site, waiting for that smoke at ramp to fade. Palace spotted. Sacrifice has to be careful not to get caught, so back away. And Darty looks to be getting a little frisky over at ramp. He'll run into a couple, take down one. Knows where another one is, up on scaffolding. And this is a good retreat from Darty. Take your kill, back away, keep the man advantage.
He can't, but the problem is he can't back away completely at this point. Does spot a shoulder. What a flick back from Carson. And a huge kill from Marky. Make that a quick double. That just completely slices through this A bomb site like paper. It's just OG Wizard in a 1v3, pushed back by the Molotov, and oncoming utility. His life has been made a living hell. This game has not been able to get any multi-kills going, and he's been stifled at every turn by these headshots. Carson still wants to go toe-to-toe with this Opper as OG Wizard considers his scaling opportunity, but now backed into a corner off of Ticket Booth. And I don't think he'll be living for too long. There's a trade available here. OG Wizard will find not even one. Shane clears it out. And PA continued to wallow as a 9-2 scoreline. Boggs, I mean, this should be potentially 10 on the cards as well, considering the economic state of the CT side.
Your best case, which is a long shot, is a 9-3 half. Your worst case is 10-2. It's not a good look right now for Party Astronauts. Starting on that CT side of Mirage as well. They've been bullied consistently in this half. Marky's had a good performance as well, a little less flashy than Fang, who's had his moments in bunches. But everyone on the Getting Info side has had a performance, but the mid-push from Party Astronauts, the desperate counter, works for 3. They don't lose a man, and now Ixani at mid-range finds Dia with a burst. And so, Marky's in a 1 versus 5, and Party Astronauts at least keeping life support on if they can get that third round heading into the T side. But there's going to be so much more on that road to recovery. It's a very long way back in. But it starts with 1, and really it starts with winning back-to-back rounds.
Exactly. And you know, sometimes you just want to keep it simple. You've got nothing to lose. You're down so much. Why not? PA get themselves their third perhaps there is life for this Party Astronaut squad. We'll catch you at the other side of this break to see the end of this first map.
Getting info got out of the gate with flying colors, a Fang 4K, and a nice 4-0 lead now. They sit up 9-3 heading into the second half of Mirage. I'm Boggs, he's Paladin, this is ESL Challenger League North America. And getting info with Fang's revenge match against Party Astronauts. On the right track, they need 4 to get it over the line. And already a duel towards lower tunnels with the bomb at play. Could really turn the tide for this pistol round. Carson won on the dualies. Darty trades it back, and he'll actually double down to take down Carson and Dia, opening up some space in a critical round for the Party Astronauts if they want to kickstart that comeback.
Yeah, big gamble there from Carson and Dia, and it doesn't pay off. Huge gap in the map now. This A-bomb site is primed and ready, but who other than Fang lying in wait? Markey clips one off, so makes this a little bit more doable here for the Canadian. He has one teed up here. Those dual Berettas trying to go toe-to-toe, and he'll find his kill. It leaves Benleet all alone, and Markey charging through that jungle smoke finds 2 of his own. Make it 3 in total, getting info, find double digits, and PA sent reeling after punishing that underpass play. And that's just about the worst case scenario that you can have, because honestly, it felt like that was a freebie. Everything was gifted to them. They even were playing a retake setup there where you've got a player all the way back in CT allowing for the plant to happen, and yet still you cannot convert or even get into a post plant, mind you, so you don't even get the force buy here in round number 14. They're going to have to give 11, and getting info have a real opportunity here to just close the door before it creaks open any little bit.
Yeah, perfect opportunity to slam the portcullis shut. just lock Party Astronauts out of the round and an aggressive. Actually, never mind, not an aggressive peek from Marky. That's Shane pushing through. That was a spam with the MP9. An MP9 spam through Woodwall. I think I've seen it all. And Shane's gonna go for the pistol and get all three. Oh my gosh. Oh, 4 on the round too. But man, I didn't know the MP9 had the armor pen to make that spam worth it.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think so either, especially through those boards. But it looked pretty clean. But now that the armor's involved, there should be no issues for dinks and what have you, shenanigans through walls. But it's the last stand essentially here for PA and however long they can sustain life. Ben Leet now taking that top mid control, and Xani has punished some underpass aggression, but there's still another threat lurking around the corner in Dia. Is he aware of it? Yes, absolutely. He's got his trusty sidekick and Darty behind him as well to deal with all of that. Shane is also pushed up in through apartments, and Darty is aware of the possibility, but yeah, Shane's not going to push the agenda too much further. He'll just hold on to this part of the map, basically cut the map in half, allow for Fang and Carson to focus on this A side. And that Molly will slow things down just for a little bit longer. Option is still available to move down into B, but yeah, that's pretty much going to seal the round up, you'd like to think, with Xani punishing the underpass play, and Sacrifice will get rid of Fang as well. So kind of just getting picked apart there. We're getting info, and you know, I don't mind going for something a little zany with those MP9s, but PA are a little bit more wary than you might think.
Yeah, they're ready for it. They're able to counter, and they're able to get another one on the board. But again, every single round Party Astronauts have won has been countered right back by getting info. That's 3 rounds now Party Astronauts have won, which getting info is won the subsequent. You're not going to be able to win a game by only being able to win 1 round here, 1 round there. You need them in bunches. Party Astronauts can't be playing small baseball anymore. They need a long shot. They need a big home run play to close this gap and try and get back into this one. The cat play might work out for something. It works out for a marquee kill at least, as he's been able to just back away with no contestation. Oh, Carson and Fang, 2 quick kills. Missed op shot from Dia, but a dink from Carson will put Sacrifice down low, stuck at default. No bomb in play. It's stuck at the feet of Carson over in Con. And Ben can't really help his teammate as he is being harassed out at default. Ben's removed. And the trend continues where Party Astronauts rounds are isolated. Up to match point here for getting info. 12-4. Flawless victory in the round as well. And just when Party Astronauts seem to be getting their heads above water, they're shoved right back down again.
Yep, and that's a great basically analogy in that kind of situation where you just see that. I mean, now you're getting the beautiful aspect of getting info CT side, something that Carson brought over from Nouns, and that's just solid mid control, understanding how to play in terms of chemistry between players and make sure that you're not over facing. You've always got a player backing up an angle for you, and they just completely dissect any idea that Party Astronauts wanted to throw. And as soon as they back away from the aggression, things start to get a little bit more difficult for the T side to deal with. And again, they don't have time to adapt. They don't have time to figure things out. They don't have that runway. So it's just going to have to be a live adaptation, basically, by Ben Leet. They've gone for the mid play again. They've used a lot of utility to get to this point. And Fang is still rearing to go for some opening duels. Look at this. Walk through Khan, but Dia's found one. Carson's here. I mean, everybody should be able to deal with this. Dia chimes in for a second. Crossfire is getting disassembled here. Marky, though, from Cat reassembles it back together again. And that should be an open and shut case. This should be getting info, finding themselves a commanding start to this best of 1 series, and it will. 13-4, 104 ADR from Fang to start things off here. He's here with the vengeance.
He is here with a vengeance, and he was helped out too. Marky had a great game, actually had more kills than Fang.